What if the most painful, impossible romantic connection of your life was not a tragedy, but a diagnostic test? What if that person you can't be with is not your missing half, but a mirror reflecting the part of your own character you have failed to build? This feeling of destiny is one of the most powerful and disorienting impressions a human can experience, and we are told it is a message from the universe. But by the end of our time together, you will understand this phenomenon from a different, more powerful perspective. You will learn how to dismantle the obsession, how to stop seeing this person as a destination, and how to use the energy of this attraction as fuel. We will close that loop. Why this mirror is not magic, but a blueprint. Before we begin our work, a necessary boundary must be drawn. What follows is a philosophical exploration of human emotion and attachment, viewed through the lens of classical Stoicism. It is designed to challenge your perspective and provide tools for self-examination. It is not, however, medical advice, therapy, or a substitute for professional psychological counsel. The pain of these attachments can be severe, and seeking qualified help is an act of wisdom, not weakness. Our purpose here is education, not diagnosis. We are architects of the mind, examining the structure of our own judgments. We all know the story. You meet someone. It is not a simple attraction. It is a recognition, a sense of familiarity, as if you have known them before. The connection is immediate, profound, and undeniable. It feels, in a word, significant. And then the obstacle arrives. They are unavailable. They live across the world. They are committed to a different path, or the timing is simply impossibly wrong. Life presents you with this powerful resonance and simultaneously forbids its fulfillment. The experience leaves you disoriented. You question your choices. You wonder if this is a cruel joke, or if you have failed a test, missing a once-in-a-lifetime chance. This is the narrative of the cosmic or Jungian interpretation. It suggests that the universe has sent you this person to show you something, to reveal your shadow self, the parts of you that you have repressed. They suggest you are projecting your anima or animus, the inner image of your opposite, and that this person is simply a carrier for your own unintegrated qualities. This framework is useful, but it is also passive. It casts you as the recipient of a lesson from an external mystical force. You are the student, and this person is the curriculum sent by a cosmic teacher. The ancient Stoics, think Epictetus, the enslaved man turned great teacher, Seneca, the playwright and advisor to an emperor, Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher, king ruling an empire, would look at this situation with surgical clarity. They would agree that the experience is not about the other person, but they would radically disagree on the source of the power. The power is not out there in the universe. It is in here, in your judgment. A Stoic investigation begins not with the universe, but with your own mind. The first, most foundational principle is this: the world is divided into two categories, that which is in our control and that which is not. This is the famous dichotomy of control. What is not in our control? Other people, their feelings, their choices, their availability, their location, the past, the future, the fact that this connection is, in practical terms, impossible. These things are externals. The Stoics called them indifferents, not because they don't cause pain or pleasure, but because they are indifferent to our moral character and have no bearing on our capacity to live a virtuous, flourishing life. What is in our control? Only one thing, our proheresis. This is a crucial term. It is often translated as choice or will, but it is deeper than that. It is your ruling faculty. It is the you that decides what things mean. It is the fortress of your inner self. Your proheresis is the architect of your soul. And the only thing that can ever harm you is a failure of your own proheresis. So, when you meet this impossible person, what is happening? You receive a vivid impression. The impression is, this person is wonderful. This connection is vital. Being with them would bring me immense happiness. The Jungian view says this is a projection. The Stoic view says this is a judgment. You have, in that moment, made a fundamental error. You have looked at an external, another human being, and judged them to be a good. You have staked your eudaimonia, your flourishing, on something you cannot control. Epictetus would say you have become a slave. You have handed the leash of your tranquility to someone else. The pain you feel is not caused by the impossibility of the relationship. The pain is caused by your judgment that you need this relationship to be whole. The longing is the symptom of a fractured will, a will that has attached itself to an external. This is not to say the person isn't wonderful. They may be courageous, intelligent, kind, or free-spirited. The error is not in admiring these qualities. The error is in believing that you must possess the person in order to have access to the qualities. Let us re-examine the shadow self through this lens. The idea is that we are drawn to people who embody traits we have repressed or disowned. A hyper-rational person is drawn to an emotional, spontaneous artist. A timid person is captivated by a confident leader. The Jungian path says this person is a messenger, inviting you to integrate your shadow. The Stoic path is more direct. It is an audit. This person is not a messenger. They are a mirror, but not a mystical one. They are a diagnostic mirror reflecting your own stated values. You admire their courage? It is because you value courage, but have failed to cultivate it. You admire their freedom? It is because you value freedom, but have shackled yourself with timid judgments. You admire their intellect? It is because you value wisdom, but have been lazy in your own studies. This person has not been sent to you. You have simply noticed them, in the same way a starving man notices bread. Your psyche, your hegemonicon, your ruling center, is starved of a virtue. It admires, and it has latched onto the nearest, most vivid example. The impossibility of the relationship is the universe's greatest gift. It is a non-negotiable boundary forcing you to stop seeking the virtue externally and start building it internally. The frustration, the tension, the impossibility, that is the forge. It is the perfect resistance required to shape your own character. Let us trace this through the lives of three composite figures, three paths that diverge from this single, common experience. First, the path of the downfall. This is the story of Marcus, a man in a stable if unexciting marriage, working a corporate job. He meets a new colleague, Anna. She is everything he is not, rebellious, creative, seemingly unconcerned with hierarchy. He is, in a word, enchanted. He begins to project. He sees her not as a person, a complex human with her own flaws and struggles, but as a symbol of the freedom he feels he has lost. He makes the primary error. He judges her to be a good. His inner monologue becomes a torrent of rationalizations. This must be destiny. She's my soulmate. This connection can't be for nothing. He neglects his work, trying to engineer accidental meetings. He becomes distant from his family, living in a fantasy world where Anna is the key to his happiness. He is, as Seneca would say, dragged along like a dog tied to a cart. He has surrendered his proheresis. The colleague, sensing this uncomfortable intensity, eventually takes a job at another firm. She leaves, and Marcus is destroyed. He is not destroyed by her leaving. He is destroyed by the scaffolding of false judgments. He built around her. He staked his entire happiness on an external he could not control, and when the external moved, his happiness collapsed. The downfall was not the breakup. The downfall was the first judgment. It was entirely preventable. Second, the path of the awakening. This is the story of Sophia. She has a similar encounter. She meets a man at a professional conference. He is brilliant, witty, and shares her niche intellectual passions. The connection is electric, but he is married and lives in another country. For years, Sophia lives in a state of suspended animation. She interprets the impossibility as a cosmic test of her patience. She reads synchronicity into every minor coincidence. She is waiting for the universe to give her a sign to move the pieces so they can be together. She is, in essence, a polite and patient version of Marcus. She is still a slave to an external. The pain of this longing becomes her entire personality. One day, frustrated and exhausted, she stumbles upon a line from Marcus Aurelius, the real one. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. She reads it again. The impediment, his marriage, the distance, the impossibility, is not an obstacle to the story. The impediment is the story. The universe is not asking her to wait. It is shouting at her that this is not the path. The way is not him. The way is what the impediment forces her to become. What did she admire in him? His intellect, his discipline in his work. She realizes with a shock that she has been using her own intellect and discipline to analyze him, to dissect their connection, instead of using it for her own life. The longing was a distraction. The admiration was the signal. This is her awakening. She stops waiting for him to be her intellectual partner and becomes her own. She starts writing the book she always told him she wanted to write. The longing fades, replaced by purpose. The man becomes a memory, a catalyst. The pain was the tuition she paid for a profound lesson in agency. She had to learn the hard way to reclaim her own proheresis. Third, the path of transformation. This is the story of Alex. Alex is trained. He has practiced the Stoic disciplines. He meets someone. The attraction is just as powerful as it was for Marcus and Sophia. The soul-level resonance is undeniable, and the person is just as impossible. He feels the same rush of emotion, the same pull, but here is the difference. Alex pauses. He does not let the impression immediately become an assent. He does not say, "I must have this person." He says, "I am experiencing a powerful impression of attraction. This is interesting." He takes it to his journal and he performs the dichotomy of control. He writes 2 columns. In the not in my control column, her existence, her feelings for me, her current relationship, the fact she lives 5,000 miles away, the destiny of this. In the in my control column, my judgment about her, my admiration for her qualities, my actions in response to this feeling, my character. He is not a robot. He feels the longing, but he does not obey it. He interrogates it. What am I actually drawn to? He lists the qualities, just as Sophia eventually did. Her fearless way of speaking, her discipline with her health, her wit. Now, he has a blueprint. This is the blueprint from our opening. The mirror is no longer a magical, tormenting object of what if. It is a practical to-do list. He sees the energy of this attraction not as a problem to be solved, but as fuel for the forge. He cannot have hurrah, but he can build what he admires, so he channels that restless energy. He enrolls in a public speaking course to find his own fearless voice. He reforms his own health habits, using the image of her discipline as his own internal pace setter. He starts reading and writing daily to sharpen his own wit. Months pass. The obsession fades. The person becomes what she always was, an external, a pleasant, admirable human being, but not the source of his good. He may feel a pang of fondness if he thinks of her, but it is not the desperate longing of a slave. It is the calm appreciation of a free man. He did not let go of the experience. He metabolized it. He integrated the qualities, not the fantasy. He used the impossible encounter to become a better version of himself. This is the ultimate act of Stoic transformation. He turned an impression into virtue. This is the path available to all of us. It requires moving from the passive, Jungian frame of what is the universe showing me to the active Stoic frame of what will I build from this? The tools are simple, but they are not easy. The first is the one Alex used, the dichotomy of control. You must, as an act of mental hygiene, surgically separate the person, external, uncontrollable, from your judgment about them, internal, controllable. The person is an indifferent. The qualities you admire are opportunities for your own character. The second tool is what we might call the unsent letter, a practice derived from Seneca's moral letters. Write down, with brutal honesty, everything you admire about this person. Be specific. Not, they are amazing, but I admire their courage when they challenge their boss. Not, they are beautiful, but I admire the discipline they apply to their physical health. Not, they are a genius, but I admire the focus they bring to their creative work. Now read that list. This is your shadow. This is your anima or animus. It is a list of virtues and skills that your own ruling center is crying out for. This is the blueprint. Now, metaphorically or literally, erase the person's name from the top of that list. That list is no longer about them. It is about you. It is your new curriculum. Your only work is to become that list. The encounter, which felt like a romantic tragedy, was actually a consultation with your own deepest self. This leads to a crucial and perhaps darker nuance. What if the person you are drawn to is not a shining example of virtue? What if you are drawn to someone toxic, someone chaotic, manipulative, or cruel? This is the dark shadow that the romanticized passive interpretations often ignore. This is where the Stoic framework is not just helpful, but protective. This attraction is also a diagnostic mirror, but it is not showing you a virtue to integrate. It is showing you a weakness in your own fortress. Why are you drawn to chaos? Perhaps you have mistaken it for passion. Why are you drawn to cruelty? Perhaps you have mistaken it for strength. Why are you drawn to someone who needs fixing? Perhaps you are avoiding the hard work of fixing yourself. This is where your proheresis must act as a guard at the gate of your mind. It must see this impression and reject it. This is a faulty judgment. This attraction is a symptom of a vice, not an admiration of a virtue. This is a signal to repair your walls, to excise this weakness, not to integrate the shadow. This is where a Stoic analysis can be powerfully juxtaposed with a Machiavellian one, not in the sense of becoming manipulative yourself, but in the sense of recognizing power dynamics and manipulation in others. A trained Stoic is not a passive victim. They are not a doormat for the universe. They are a sovereign of their own mind. If someone's shadow is destructive, the Stoic response is to set a boundary. Your inner fortress is for defense as well as construction. You are not obligated to be the passive object of someone else's projections, and you are certainly not obligated to pursue an attraction that reflects a flaw in your own character. This is the agency that the universe sends you model so often lacks. It is your duty to protect your proheresis from corrupting judgments, just as it is your duty to build it with virtuous ones. This brings us to the final and most profound act, letting go. The source transcript says this is not a failure, but a transformation. The Stoics would agree, but would define it more rigorously. True letting go is not about forgetting. It is not about resisting. The memory, for as Seneca said, what you resist persists. True letting go is a two-step process. The first step is integration. This is what Alex did. He metabolized the experience. He took the qualities and built them into his own character. The longing was the energy source. Once the fuel, the longing, has been used to build the virtue, the discipline, the courage, the fuel is gone. The obsession dissolves because its purpose has been fulfilled. You are no longer letting go of the person. You are thanking them, perhaps only in your mind, for providing the blueprint. The second and higher step is amor fati, the love of your fate. This is the step beyond mere acceptance. Acceptance is passive. Amor fati is active. It is not, I accept that I cannot be with this person. It is, I will that I cannot be with this person because this impossibility is the perfect, necessary, and correct condition for my own growth. It is looking at the entire painful, beautiful, frustrating experience and saying, this is exactly as it should be. This is my path. This impediment is my way. This is the ultimate reclamation of power. The universe is no longer doing anything to you. You are choosing to find the good in what is. You are no longer a victim of a cosmic story. You are the author of your own character. We began with a painful question. Why do we meet someone who feels so right, yet we cannot be with them? We now have the Stoic answer. The person is irrelevant. The meeting is a summons from your own hegemonicon. Your ruling center It is a call to action. The soul-level feeling is real, but it is not a destination. It is a diagnostic. That powerful resonance is the sound of your own unmet potential vibrating in the presence of someone who embodies it. The person is not your missing half. They are a mirror reflecting the next part of your own fortress that you must build. And this, finally, is the closure of our loop. The mirror is not magic. It is, as we said, a blueprint. It shows you the next room to build. The pain of the impossibility is simply the friction of the work. The universe does not send you people to love or people to learn from. The universe simply is. It presents events. You are the one who decides. You are the one with the ultimate power, the power of ascent. You choose what it all means. The person you couldn't be with was never the destination. They were the catalyst. They were the one who, by their very impossibility, forced you to stop looking outward for completion and finally begin the real work of building it within. This process of transforming attraction into action, passion into virtue, is a daily discipline, but it is a reactive discipline. It is how we respond to the storm when it hits. What about the other side of this? How do we prepare our minds before the storm arrives? How do we build the fortress so that when the impression does strike, we are already grounded, already prepared? The ancients had a practice for this. Premeditatio malorum. The premeditation of evils, or what we might more gently call the art of negative visualization. It is the discipline of building the fortress before the siege begins. It is the practice of inner resilience, and perhaps that is where our path must lead us next.